Greetings, community, and welcome to Entropy in Comics and another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 6/11/2025. Here we are once again, and it's great to be alive. Appreciate all of you who cruise on through on the rewind. Without you, it'd only be half as fun as it actually is. And for those of you that cruise on through on the live, let's take a moment and say hi. And who we have here is Christina. How you do? Hope all is well with you and yours. And those of you that may have cruised on through that I'm missing at the moment, I greatly apologize. Still kind of down, refreshing there. But hey, let's start it off and talk about a few books here. Let's start off with IDW. And, well, basically, it's going to be all about the mutants here. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Nation, issue number 7. Hey, Jag. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Issue number 7 on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Nation. This was one of those. I was trying to actually not pick this up anymore. It's another one of the same story. I keep repeating myself of saying, trying not to pick it up. Last issue I read was really good. I'm going to pick it up and give it one more shot. And each issue I keep doing that to the point that they become rather anticipated reads. And here we are once again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of IDW with their Mutant Nation building upon the mutant lore is not only really rather intriguing, but enriching as far as the individual that's trying to go ahead and have a deeper understanding of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lore that's given to us at this moment. It's I don't want to say necessarily essential, but it does give you a really good understanding of what this world building is doing. And without this, it does leave a little gaps in the overall story that I believe will lead up to some of the aspects that will support the overall Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle lore, even though they're not directly always talking about this referencing that or this or that referencing this. They are making references to the Mutant Nation, where things are happening and how things are being affected. And you know that these overall mutant nations and the core lore of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and its book will one day coincide. You know it. So that being stated, I guess that's why I'm ended up picking this up. It's not only a good read, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Nation book of its own, but it does support things that seem like that are also happening in the other book, as I made mention. That stated, let's go ahead and talk about the next book that I'm looking forward to, which is out of IDW also, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 9. Yeah, these guys, now that we're getting, which is really weird, some understanding of where, all right, there's a lot here to unpack. I guess really what I want to say as not to name any individuals, but to also understand that Splinter, easily to understand, is seemingly being represented by a dead rat. And now it seems like the other turtles are kind of understanding where one of the turtles that was carrying him around was leading to and what it was overall getting at. There's a lot of psychological storytelling in this overall adventure. And it's not only really touching and sad, and at times very, very just excruciatingly painful, and the self-suffering that's also given to the turtles themselves and to the individual that they're trying to save. But there's so much philosophy and so much depth of feeling in these stories that's why I'm really engaged in the story overall than just a standard story that I used to read as a kid with Donnie and Rolf and so forth, because it isn't like a standard Mikey and I know I'm missing one right here. My brain's going away, but it isn't the standard storytelling of that we grew up. It's considerably more depth in the story to where I guess at times you're really not necessarily reading just a story for story's sake as much as you're trying to really have an understanding of, again, psychologically, what's going on with the individuals, and then collectively, how are they approaching to try to solve the problem at hand, which is the Foot Clan has taken over, and they're doing it systematically in a way that's never been seen before for them to deal with. And it seems like everyone's against them. It's really touching, really awesome, and I can't get enough. And that's why it just missed out on my most anticipated read. Let's move out from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 9 from the IDW and cruise over to Image, and let's talk about Geiger issue number 15. Holy hell, this Geiger story is really good. I am looking forward to this to really becoming. I really don't watch much TV, but I am looking for this to become developed and released really soon. We know of its development. As I was talking to, Rod, I appreciate you being here, buddy. As I was talking to Jeff Johns, it's well underway. They're already, doing a whole lot of. I think they're in the point, I would imagine right now, they're even making consideration of doing a raw review. And that's where a lot of people that are involved in the actual production just kind of look at it and see if they're going in the right direction before they start getting into things like editing. I know I'm talking too much about the production side, but I am so looking forward to that. But being that stated, here we are with issue number 15. This Geiger story is not only supported by the initial 6 stories, but the 15 stories in which that we got presently by releasing tomorrow, which is well enough a whole lot of material to go ahead and translate and adapt to TV type series on the streaming services that will be coming out for Geiger. But I can't get enough, even as it stands with just the series itself as a book. There's so much here, so much going on, and a lot of times you seem to get a story that just seems like it's regurgitated from little pieces of here and little pieces of there and thrown out to us. This is kind of a cool, very unique storytelling of a post-apocalyptic guy that wanted really originally to save his family, and in doing so failed, but learned that there's more to life than just his family immediately. The family he could develop down the road with others in this apocalyptic world can not only mean more to him, but can mean more to him as he helps the world refine themselves in their own humanity, as he's only trying to prevent his own explosion and death, which is really awesome. And I really can't get enough. And this Geiger, as we get issue number 15, released by Johns, along with this whole awesome Ghost universe, I just can't get enough. And I just looking forward to reading. Moving out from that, let's talk about Transformers issue number 21. I had to get not only this as a variant, but I am so looking forward to this story. Transformers, as it's not only been rebooted, but we're getting into this volume in the series as it's getting super depth into the Energon universe, is not only my favorite storytelling of the series ever told, but it's a nice way to go ahead and tie it into a G.I. Joe universe in which that I was never reading before. I can't get enough of this series, and I'm really greatly appreciating what Kirkman did with this whole storytelling, with the original telling, with Void Rivals introducing us to this Energon universe. Transformers has never been better. G.I. Joe has never been better. This Transformers getting into issue number 21. Here we are, well over a year and a half to the series, essentially almost 2 years now deep, and it's just getting better and better. As the stories get told, that this world gets bigger, and it's tying in, and we have a better understanding of not only the interdependence upon the humans and these robots, but the robots revealing and understanding their connection not only to the humans, but also the Void Rivals well beyond there. And we're having an understanding of how this is starting to evolve. As I said before, Johnson and the other team making up the series is doing such an awesome job. I can't get enough, and I'm looking forward to getting into this book right here of Transformers issue number 21. Coming out to you and me, it's already got, on 6/11/2025. Let's move out the Transformers and talk about World Tree issue number 15. I'm getting used to it at this point. I realize that you have to wait 6 to 7 weeks to go ahead and get an issue. Now that I understand essentially that that's the schedule in which that this book releases, I'm no longer, angry or at any way, disappointed that it's not on a regular schedule, because that's the regular schedule. That's stated. This series is really kind of cool. As I guess the easiest way to go ahead and explain this series is we have a manifestation of the undernet which is kind of like the dark net, but in its own sub genre way within the internet. But it manifests its way into a human, and its ultimate goal is to go ahead and bring upon its I guess it's like an internet apocalypse to the reality in which that we presently exist in. There is a group of individuals that tap into this undernet that are the only individuals that can go ahead and dismantle and hopefully prevent any further connection or any possible route or pathway back to our reality. I guess that's the only way I can explain it. It's been rather interesting storytelling by the whole Tinian group. I don't know if I'm properly explaining as much as it's been fascinating to read, only because of how it's being explained and depicted, and the if I recall, the art is being done by Simmons, or it's really kind of in that way, which really properly reflects the story that's being told, how it's just kind of everywhere and nowhere all at once. I really been enjoying it now that I have an understanding how the story is being told after this time. Here we are. We're only issue 15 coming out tomorrow, but it's been well into 2-year timeline that we've been getting this story. Now get an understanding of its timeline, and I have a rough understanding of what the story is being told. I've been enjoying it, even though it's been as flaky and iffy as it was as far as its release. And as difficult in that as it is, it's also difficult to retain what's going on in the story. That also being stated, it hasn't really counted that much against my appreciation for the story as a whole. Again, World Tree issue number 15 coming out on 6/11/2025. Let's move out from the Image and cruise over to the Marvel side and let's talk about Avengers Academy issue number 1. Yeah. That's what I pre-ordered. I almost ended up buying. I am looking forward to it. I usually don't do teams, but there's a few books that I just had to pick up because I'm really interested not only in the characters that they're introducing, but these teams that they put together. This is a fine example. Avengers Academy is essentially new introduction of characters in this Academy type scenario. Hey, sure, I'll give it a shot. It's an issue number 1, and what do you got to lose? Hey! How you doing, Chris? Hope all is well with you, Chaos. And moving out from the Avengers Academy, issue number 1, let's cruise over to Death of Silver Surfer. I don't think it's really going to be a Death of Silver Surfer. Just saying. You know how they do that, bait switch type thing. However, there is something significant that's supposed to end up happening. We do get an introduction, as we always do, of another character. I think it's a first appearance type thing. That stated, this is a series that I've been looking forward to for a while. Plus, I did get it. I know I did. Right? Yeah. And there we are. This was like the first thing I've seen from K-M.A.R.T put out in a long time. The last time I talked to him, I had such wonderful conversations. I'm only concerned that I broke him. Because the last time I talked to him, he says usually when he gets in a very creative mood, he disappears for a little while and then he comes out and releases a bunch of stuff. And after I talked to him, he goes, wow, that gives me a lot of creative ideas. I haven't seen him but this one book since, as far as the art in a while that I recall. I don't know. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments of what he's put out in the past, I don't know, let's say a year, because I don't recall much. So I had to get that cover. I am looking forward to not only reading this book, but yeah, I really do appreciate this cover. It's really cool. Like I said before, I don't think it's going to be a Death of Silver Surfer. I think it's just going to be something that's going to be kind of, I do have a hint of what's supposed to be. I don't want to give it to you and spoil for anything. I do want to keep myself rather in the dark, but as you well know, sometimes when you know a bunch of people, they end up kind of just talking about stuff and you end up catching some things. And yeah, I think it's more Galactus tied in than anything else. Just saying. Death of Silver Surfer issue number 1 coming out to you and me on 6/11/2005. I'm just cruise out from that. Let's talk about 80 Brock Carnage issue number 5. I want that cover C so bad. I didn't know what it was until I end up seeing it down the road. So this development of this storyline with the interdependence, which we already seen with that same interdependence in some regard, well, almost exactly with Mary Jane and Venom that's going on right now, we first saw with Brock and Carnage. And it's been rather unique and different. And the fact that Carnage can block out Eddie, and I'm hoping Eddie can go ahead and do some manipulation with Carnage. We know that who their target is, which was interesting because I ain't buying that storyline. I don't know, just last year out of coincidence. Don't want to ruin who that character is if you're not caught up. But I have yet to read issue number 4. I'm just admitting. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting into issue number 5. I can't wait to read these things back to back. That's you can't see it. There's a whole box down there with issue number 4, so I'm going to get issue number 5 tomorrow and read those up. Just saying. Eddie Brock Carnage issue number 5 coming out in 6/11. This series has been awesome. If you're anything like me and you're digging the symbiote stuff, wow, this book is just awesome. Just saying. Let's move on from the whole Eddie Brock Carnage issue number 5. Let's talk about Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. There's another instance that we're going to get another introduction of a character. Well, in a sense, in the modern Marvel universe, we're getting Kid Venom that I'm looking forward to go ahead and introduce into the present timeline in the Marvel universe, and this is where we're going to get him introduced into our present state and timeline. I've been enjoying the Kid Venom thing, and I have to blame Jigs because he was the one that mostly influenced me to go ahead and pick up this series. When it came out about 2 years ago, I was only looking at it out of curiosity. Hey, Legend, appreciate you being here, buddy. To see what it was going to do. I wasn't going to go as heavy as I did, but I sure glad I did. Kid Venom is a pretty wonderful storyline. Its setting normally is in a feudal style Japan. It's far removed from the present state and timeline of the Marvel universe. But being that we're going to get him introduced to this universe and this present timeline, I am looking forward to. This was probably about on my number 4 of my most anticipated reads this week, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. I'm just saying. So again, Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 coming out 6/11/2025. Let's cruise out from that. Let's talk about New Avengers issue number 1. I like this little homage throwback. Should say, I think this is Will's. I think it's Will's Bertasio. Might be. Anyways, I just remembered from that whole New Avengers original issue number 1 that I think was done by Danny Mickey and someone else. Can't remember offhand. I really like that cover. Recently, I just had Danny end up signing it. I'm looking forward to getting into this. This is a wild group of characters to put together for a whole new Avengers group. This doesn't quite seem like your conventional conceptual idea of what you would consider Avengers or anything new or anything close to that so I can't wait to get my hands in there. I'm just saying, I have no idea really what it's about. I just can't wait to get into it. And it looks fun. Doesn't look like it takes itself too seriously. So, hey, let's just go for a ride. Just saying. Moving out from the New Avengers issue number 1, let's talk about One World Under Doom issue number 5. This story really took me back. I really wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. I'm not a major, Doom follower because I don't do, like I said, I don't normally do team books. So this whole Doom stuff is just really, really freaking cool. The fact that how it first started with the whole blood hunt and it led into what it did as far as Doom taking over and how this whole Doom event going on and where it's going to lead to towards the end of the year. Yeah, it's been not only thoroughly enjoyable, but it's been even the supporting stuff that I've been reading that ties into these things. It's just been, I guess, really amazing in the sense that my expectations were so low that I guess even it to be what it is just is blowing me away. Seriously, I've really been enjoying the ride. I can't get enough. And yeah, I'm just saying One World Under Doom mission number 5 is really high on my most anticipated reads. I want to say it's probably 3. It's shocking as it is. I'm just saying. I don't know. All right, moving on from that, the next one, I think, because I just realized I missed, is Marvel Rivals Ignite, issue number 1. Now, I didn't initially look to get that heavy on this thing, but I did tell my LCS that anything that comes out Marvel Rival related, I basically wanted everything to it, so it's not for me. Swear to God. Kai's playing the game, and I kind of got it from him. So that stated, I guess, or that being the excuse. Here we go. That's cover A. NB. The Stan Sakai, cover C. I just see, right? Yep. And then the cover D. I have to admit, that's actually really, really badass. I had, yeah. That I had to get to. I'm like, hey, can you just toss another one in there? And then the same thing with this. Yeah, these are not only books that are Marvel Rival related, but I don't know. Being that they're all Peach Momoko stuff, I really been enjoying what she's been doing. When she was doing all the Marvel stuff that introduced all the it led up to what she's been doing right now with the Ultimate X-Men and all that. Anyways, my point being is I really enjoy her storytelling beyond just the art. I really been liking her storytelling, and how it's some of the stuff is hybrid between the watercolors and the ink art. I really do enjoy that stuff. So I'm looking forward to going ahead and reading it, even though I had no interest initially. And as you saw, I went really, really as far as buying everything A through D. Yeah, I'm now curious. And since I am already reading the Marvel Rivals issue number 1, which is an online thing, I'm now kind of into the storyline. So I think it's kind of neat. So I'm looking forward to reading it. Move out from Marvel Rivals Ignite issue number 1. Let's cruise over to Spider-Girl. Did I just say that? I did. Sorry, my Blue Light Special. Spider-Girl. Yes, I'm a little tired. I've been dying to get at this. This is one I've been looking forward to for a few months now. When her first introduction was in Spider-Boy issue number 12, I thought this is a character I think has potential. Yes, we've seen Spider-Girl before. Yes, we've seen a couple Spider-Girls before. I get it. Let's all get over it. What we got with the issue number 12 of the introduction of Spider-Girl, as far as in that context, and then that regard, as far as what Slot did, follow me on this, please, is a really cool iteration of this Spider new character. It's a character that kind of emulates whatever she gets to see the eyes of, as far as and I believe she's going to be introduced to a whole new power in this. It is someone that came to grips with how she was raised, who she was trained by, and the fact that she realized that just because she was being manipulated into being something that she wanted, that didn't necessarily define who she is or who she could and potentially will eventually be. I really like the concept of this character, and I do look for further development of this character, Spider-Girl. This is, as it obviously is, issue number 1 and the first introduction to this as an ongoing series. I am looking forward to this concept, this character, to be at least a solid year deep for it to be rather accepted by most. I truly do. Much like Spider-Boy, I really believe that this is going to be a character it's going to take a little bit to grow on most people. And those type of characters are referred to as mold. Those are mold characters, take a little bit of time to grow on you, but once they do, they're not only hard to wipe away from the Marvel Universe, but they're hard to wipe away from even your kitchen counters and your bathroom sinks. So I'm just saying, Give Spider Girl a chance if you're remotely interested into the spider lore, and I think you'd be rather impressed. It is definitely my blue light special, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it myself. I'd like to take a moment and thanking everybody that cruise on through. Hey, Legend, Jag, Chaos, dude, Rod, seriously, and Christina. I appreciate everyone hanging out and with you, dancing with me. And that's it for me, Entropy. Everyone, you stay well, and I'll talk to you soon.